Me and Bryson trekked through the forest, searching for any vantage point to look for Travis. I tried finding his scent, but for some reason, there is this presence in the air. My sense of smell was practically useless. Bryson and I found a large tree in the distance. It took us a couple of minutes to reach it, and we decided it would be better for Bryson to climb it, since he was much lighter than me. Bryson climbed about halfway, when we both saw a giant bird getting closer to Bryson.
"Damn it, Darius! We need to distract that thing or something,"
Bryson said, pulling out a pair of binoculars he snagged in the watchtower. I concentrated and thrust myself off the ground at an astonishing height. I managed to slightly grab the giant bird's foot and drag it down with me. As we crashed to the ground, the bird's feathers suddenly became extremely spiky and sharp. I struggled to attack the bird, as every time I managed to get close, it would slice me with its feathers. More and more cuts littered my body, and I was about to collapse, when I heard a loud gunshot. Bryson had taken out his rifle and shot the bird in the back of its head while it was distracted. The force of him shooting had made him slip, and he started falling out of the tree. I grabbed onto the tree and used my claws to scale the tree as fast as I could, and managed to catch Bryson mid-air. I climbed back down the hill and set Bryson down.
"Did you see anything out of the ordinary?"
"Not really, though I did see smoke in the distance. Maybe Travis made some fire we could use to find him," Bryson suggested.
"All right, let's go,"
I said, quickly grabbing Bryson and dashing towards the direction of the smoke. Eventually, we found the campfire, but we were both greeted with 3 dead people, destroyed beyond recognition. I immediately thought that these were the remains of the soldiers, as well as Travis, because someone called OK's shoulder had informed me of such. I took a closer look and realised there should be 4 bodies, not 3. There was no military gear anywhere either. Me and Bryson looked around, and we found a blood trail. Fearing the worst, we followed it. We were led to a clearing, and I saw Yellowstone Volcano. Me and Bryson were shocked to see the pilgrim throwing a body into the caldera. I thought this was Travis, and out of blind rage, I roared and charged at the pilgrim, my claws outstretched for his throat. He teleported out of the way and appeared behind me. I stopped and dodged a large slice of his long dirty fingernails as a giant smile grew on his face. I lunged and grabbed the pilgrim, sending him to the ground with tremendous force. The pilgrim laughed. "You're a feisty one, aren't you? You won't last too long," the pilgrim sneered. He teleported on my back and went to thrust his dagger-like nails into my throat, when I heard a familiar gunshot. A bullet slammed into the pilgrim, sending him to the ground. Bryson ran up to help me, but we were both slammed back to the tree line by the pilgrim. He had one hand on each of our necks and held us tightly. I saw his black teeth show, with his maniac-like grin. I kneed the pilgrim, and he was blasted upwards from the force. I grabbed him and then slammed him deep into the ground, and repeatedly slammed my fists into him. He teleported out of the situation, and was now in the middle of the caldera. I went to attack him, but Bryson grabbed my arm.
"Darius, this wasn't Travis. The body was wearing boots. Travis only had his old sneakers. Didn't you find it odd that the other dead people weren't wearing military gear? We need to go find him and the soldiers. We can't kill this thing alone," Bryson said, convincing me to stop attacking. I looked back one last time to see some kind of tendril erupt from the caldera, reaching towards the pilgrim. I shuddered and grabbed Bryson. I asked where we should look, when I thought I saw movement in the clearing, not too far from here. I rushed towards the direction I saw something, and eventually entered the clearing. Travis and the soldiers looked shocked as me and Bryson entered the clearing. A couple of them went to speak, but I cut them off. "The pilgrim is at Yellowstone Volcano. We need to stop it now," I boomed. "What's it doing at Yellowstone Volcano?" one of them asked.
I glanced at Travis and saw he was deep in thought. "What if it's doing some kind of ritual?" he asked. A couple of the soldiers went pale.
"Well, what are we waiting for?"
Bryson said. I quickly grabbed everyone, and with effort, I ran towards Yellowstone Volcano as fast as I could. "Bryson," Travis went to say, but Bryson cut him off.
"Look, Travis, we can talk about this later, okay? I made a mistake, and now we need to stop this thing," he said.
"But what if some of us don't make it out alive?" Travis asked. but he was cut off again.
"Nobody's going to die, I promise," he stated.
We were close to Yellowstone Volcano when I saw something out of the corner of my eye. I stopped to see a group of Wendigo emerge from the shadows.
"Shit," one of the soldiers said.
Bryson took out his gun and fired at the Wendigo, but they were able to hide behind the nearby trees. Travis took out a Desert Eagle and fired a shot into one of the Wendigo's skulls, sending it crashing to the ground as it pierced the bony exterior. I charged at one of the Wendigos, only to be swarmed, and I felt immense pain around my body. I could smell their breath. It smelt like rotting corpses. Travis ran over and thrust one of the Wendigo off of me, to my surprise, and I watched as the Wendigo lunged at him. I couldn't help him, and I closed my eyes, only to hear the familiar sound of a gunshot. I quickly dealt with the other Wendigo by slamming it into the ground, killing it. As the other Wendigo ran off, I went to eat one of the dead ones, but I realised we needed to stop the pilgrim and stop myself. We got back on track and reached Yellowstone Volcano. As we reached the caldera, I saw the pilgrim levitating in the middle of Yellowstone Volcano as small tendrils of lava slowly erupted from below. The soldiers took aim and shot the pilgrim with odd rifles. As the bullets got closer to the pilgrim, lava tendrils shielded and reduced the bullets to ash. "What do we do?" Travis asked frantically.
"We need to distract,"
Bryson went to say, but was cut off, and I felt a deep hatred towards the pilgrim for tormenting us this long. I lunged at the pilgrim with tremendous force. I got close and reached out to grab the pilgrim, when the tendrils attacked and sent me back towards the soldiers. I felt a searing pain in my arm and chest. The tendrils had burnt me. "Darius, are you okay?" Travis said, rushing over to help me.
"I'll be fine, Travis,"
I winced. "I've been meaning to ask. How did you find me?" he asked.
"Someone told me where you were. I think they were called OK Shoulder,"
I said. "Oh, figures. He told me you found Bryson," Travis said.
"Guys, focus on the situation at hand,"
Bryson said, grabbing one of the rifles. I tended to my wounds as the soldiers fired rounds at the pilgrim to no avail. I heard a scream, and then a tendril slammed into the ground nearby, blasting us all with intense heat. "Fall back!" a soldier yelled, and led us all back through the forest. I was faster, but I allowed him to take the lead. I looked up to see some helicopters. A surge of fear washed over me. This situation was getting out of control. How are we supposed to escape Facility 14 if we are doing their dirty work and being heavily monitored? As we reached the motel, I glanced at Travis, and something was wrong. He had this odd expression on his face. As he watched a helicopter land, I saw him grit his teeth. I wanted to say something, but I was led inside the motel. I walked into the motel and listened to the soldiers bicker and complain. Honestly, how did these guys become soldiers? I thought to myself. I can hear a battle raging outside as Travis walks in. He sat down at the table the soldiers were at, and I quickly recorded this post before joining them. I'll keep in touch. P.S. Travis seems a bit sad. Any ideas on how to cheer him up?